Welcome back to Cyber Mornings Daily. Great to have you with us.
Hey there.
Today, we're diving into three pretty interesting developments making waves in the cybersecurity world.
Yeah, three distinct stories, but, they all touch on different aspects of the field.
Exactly. Think of these as quick stories, each with some fascinating technical details that might just impact how you think about your digital life.
Sounds good. We're starting.
Let's start with something really foundational. It's about how we track and talk about software bugs. There's this system, the Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures program, CVE.
Ah, CVE. Yeah, absolutely crucial. It's essentially the standard identifier system.
Right. It gives everyone a common language. A flaw gets a CVE number, and boom, researchers, vendors, everyone's on the same page.
Couldn't coordinate without it, really. Imagine the mess if everyone used different names for the same vulnerability.
Well, speaking of mess, there was almost a big one. MITRE, the organization that runs CVE with U.S. government funding.
Uh-huh.
Their funding was actually set to expire today, April 16th.
Wow. Seriously. Today. That's cutting it close.
Tell me about it. Can you picture the potential fallout if CVE just stopped?
Oof. It'd be bad. MITRE themselves warned about it. National vulnerability databases would degrade, security advisories would suffer.
Even incident response,
Yeah.
like dealing with active attacks.
Yeah, could seriously impact those operations, too. It's like a cornerstone for managing digital risk.
Okay, deep breaths, everyone, because there's a twist, a good one.
Okay, give us the good news.
CISA, that's the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they announced late yesterday they've extended the funding contract.
Phew. Okay, crisis averted, for now, anyway.
Exactly. No immediate disruption. They acknowledged how vital CVE is to the whole community.
That's good to hear. Definitely a sigh of relief. But, the fact it got this close, it does raise questions, doesn't it? About relying on just one funding source.
Funny you should say that. It seemed some folks on the CVE board were thinking ahead.
Oh, yeah.
They'd already started setting up something called the CVE Foundation, a nonprofit,
Interesting. What's the goal there?
to make the CVE program more independent, more globally trusted, move away from relying solely on, a single government sponsor.
That makes a lot of sense. Diversify the support base, prevents that single point of failure they were talking about.
Exactly. Spread the risk, make it more resilient to, political wins or budget cuts from one place.
So it's about preventing a single point of failure in vulnerability management. Smart move.
But now CISA has extended the funding for MITRE.
Yeah.
So the future of this foundation, this transition,
Yeah.
it's a little unclear, right?
It is a bit ambiguous now, yeah. Does the foundation push ahead? Does this extension change the timeline? It's definitely something to watch.
Seems like a turning point, maybe.
Could be. The extension buys time, stability, but that underlying desire for a more robust global system, I bet that's still there. Maybe a gradual shift.
And it looks like others are thinking along similar lines. The EU's cybersecurity agency, ENISA,
ENISA, right. What about them?
they've also launched their own European Vulnerability Database, the EUVD.
Huh. Another database. So they're gathering info from various sources across Europe.
Seems like it.
That's significant. Shows a growing regional awareness, maybe a desire for more local control or perspective on vulnerabilities. Interesting to see how EUVD and CVE coexist or interact down the line.
Okay, so that's the plumbing, the infrastructure side. Let's shift gears. Story number 2 takes us to a more, let's say, chaotic corner of the internet.
Where are we going?
4chan.
Right. What happened there? More chaos than usual.
You could say that. They got hit by a pretty significant hack. Actually knocked the site offline for a while. It was loading intermittently, showing errors.
Wow. For a site that's been around that long, that's noteworthy. Security issues hitting even the less conventional platforms.
And get this. A group linked to another forum, Soyjak.party, claimed they did it.
They claimed responsibility. Did they offer proof?
Oh, yeah. They apparently leaked screenshots, stuff that looked like 4chan's admin panels, even a list of alleged staff emails.
Ouch. That's bold, showing off their access like that.
They boasted about being inside 4chan systems for over a year. Called it Operation Soyclips.
Over a year. If true, that's persistent access. And those admin panels, what could they do with those?
Well, the reports suggest pretty powerful stuff. Potential access to user IPs, maybe even location data.
Whoa, okay. Big privacy implications there.
Definitely. Plus, managing boards, viewing logs, stats, accessing databases. Basically, the keys to the kingdom.
That's a massive amount of control. Huge potential for abuse, de-anonymizing users, manipulating content. Scary stuff.
So how they do it? The attackers aren't saying exactly,
Naturally.
but the speculation, the strong suspicion, points to 4chan running a really, really old version of PHP.
PHP, the web language, how old?
Like 2016 old.
2016, wow. In tech years, that's ancient history. There must be tons of known unpatched vulnerabilities in a version that old.
Exactly. It's like leaving your front door wide open with a sign saying, "Please rob me."
Basic software maintenance failure.
Pretty much textbook. Neglecting updates on core components like that is just asking for trouble and adding insult to injury.
Oh, there's more.
The attackers, or someone, later apparently leaked the source code for 4chan. On another forum, Kiwi Farms.
The entire PHP source code? Oh, man. That's brutal.
Right. It's like publishing the blueprints after you've already broken in.
That makes finding more flaws so much easier for other attackers, and it makes securing the platform incredibly difficult going forward.
It is kind of ironic, though, isn't it? 4chan has been the place where data leaked from other companies sometimes ends up.
Now they're on the receiving end.
Yeah, it really underscores that nobody's immune if they don't keep their house in order, security-wise. Doesn't matter who you are.
A stark reminder, for sure. Okay, third story. Let's move from the fringes to something impacting potentially millions of everyday users. Microsoft Office.
Okay, Microsoft 365, Office 2024. What's the change?
Microsoft taken a big step. They're disabling all ActiveX controls by default, starting later this month.
ActiveX, wow, blast from the past. That's been around since, what, 96? Exactly, that old framework for embedding interactive stuff in Office docs.
Yeah, I remember it. Used for little apps or media players right inside Word or PowerPoint. But it always felt a bit risky.
Precisely. It's got a long, troubled history with security vulnerabilities. So Microsoft's finally pulling the plug by default.
So, in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Visio, ActiveX just won't run. No prompts or anything.
Nope, blocked outright. Users will see a notification saying it's blocked with a Learn More link.
That's a good move, a really positive security step. ActiveX has been a favorite playground for malware distributors for years.
Microsoft is explicitly warning users. If a random file asks you to enable ActiveX, don't do it, especially if you don't know the source.
Solid advice. Very few legitimate modern uses for it anymore. An unexpected prompt is almost certainly malicious these days.
Now, they are leaving a way to manually turn it back on, deep in the Trust Center settings.
Oh, for legacy compatibility, I guess. Some old internal tool, maybe.
Probably. But Microsoft strongly recommends leaving it off. And if you do enable it there,
Let me guess, it enables it everywhere, across all Office apps.
you got it. It's a global switch. So you reintroduce the risk across the board.
Yeah, that's a significant trade-off. Most people should definitely just leave it disabled. The risk isn't worth it.
And the reason, as we said, is just the sheer number of times attackers have used malicious ActiveX controls, dropping malware like TrickBot.
Cobalt Strike 2, right? Used in more targeted attacks. ActiveX was a common vector for that initial foothold.
So disabling it by default closes a major, well-worn attack surface.
Absolutely. It's part of a broader trend we're seeing from Microsoft, isn't it? Phasing out old, risky features.
Yeah, seems like it. They boosted support for AMSI, the anti-malware scan interface.
Yeah,
They blocked VBA macros by default finally.
right, the macro nightmare. That was a big one.
And they've even got plans to eventually remove VBScript entirely. It's like a spring cleaning for legacy security holes.
It's necessary. These old technologies, they served a purpose once, but the threat landscape changes. Vendors need to adapt, even if it causes some friction with backward compatibility. Prioritizing security is key.
So there we have it, 3 different snapshots from the cybersecurity world today.
Yeah, from foundational vulnerability tracking getting secured,
To a notorious site getting hacked, likely due to old tech.
and a major vendor proactively shutting down a risky legacy feature.
It really shows that constant tension, doesn't it,
Yeah.
between functionality, legacy systems, and the ever-present security threats.
It absolutely does, and it highlights how crucial maintenance and vigilance are across the board, from the core internet infrastructure right down to the apps on your desktop.
Makes you think, what other older technologies are still lurking out there in the systems we rely on every day? Are they being watched, updated? It's a constantly shifting landscape.
Always something new to consider, always something changing. Staying informed about these technical undercurrents is definitely key.
Well said. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today on Cyber Mornings Daily.